choose. Make a decision. Basically, take control of what you can take control of and do something about it. For the Israelites, that meant choosing righteousness or right living over sin. For us, it can mean many things as we try to determine how best to live in our world. In our gospel reading for today, Jesus is taking that directive to choose a step further. Jesus says, choose and then do. Your actions speak louder than your words. So do what you choose. Now, Jesus has just done some of that himself. The reading that we are about to hear happens during the last week of Jesus' life. He entered Jerusalem to the loud acclaim of the people. He's healed all kinds of people through the week. He has entered the temple and thrown out all the money changers and those who are selling sacrificial animals. He has made a scene in Jerusalem again and again this final week of his life. And now he returns again to the temple. And because of all the choices that he's made, all the doing that he's done during this week, the Pharisees want to know who gives Jesus the authority to do these things. Now, in the end, Jesus doesn't answer them. But he tells them this story about choices, the story that we've heard some of during the children's time, about acting, about doing, about making sure that your actions speak louder than your words. And then he tells the Pharisees how they've gotten it all wrong. Jesus came back to the temple. And as he taught, the chief priests and the elders came to him and asked, "What right do you have to do these things? Who gave you such a right?" Jesus answered them, "I will ask you just one question, and if you give me an answer, I will tell you what right I have to do these things. Where did John's right to baptize come from? Was it from God or from man?" They started to argue among themselves. "What shall we say? If we answer from God, he will say to us, 'Then why didn't you believe John?' But if we say from man, we're afraid of what the people might do, because they are all convinced that John was a prophet." So they answered Jesus, "We don't know." And he said to them, "Neither will I tell you by what right I do these things. Now, what do you think? There was once a man who had 2 sons. He went to the older one and said, 'Son, go and work in the vineyard today.' 'I don't want to,' he answered. But later he changed his mind, and he went. Then the father went to the other son and said the same thing. 'Yes, sir,' he answered. But he did not go. Which one of the 2 did what his father wanted?" "The older one," they answered. So Jesus said to them, "I tell you, the tax collectors and the prostitutes are going into the kingdom of God ahead of you. For John the Baptist came to you, showing you the right path to take, and you would not believe him. But the tax collectors and the prostitutes believed him. Even when you saw this, you did not change your minds and believe him." The Gospel of the Lord. Our sermon hymn is on page 8.